Members of the Housing Committee. For the record, I am State Senator John Kissel, serving the 7th District, and the fabulous people from the towns of Enfield, Suffield, Somers, Windsor, Windsor Locks, East Granby, and Granby. I am here to speak in favor of three bills that you were gracious enough to raise. Senate Bill 404, an act concerning the maintenance of a wait list for public housing. Senate Bill 405, an act concerning the retention of security deposits in age-restricted public housing, and Senate Bill 409, an act expanding age-restricted housing options for elderly persons. First of all, I think it's fabulous that the Commissioner on Housing sees that we have common ground with Senate Bill 405 and its similar House bill regarding the security deposits. And so I would urge this committee to embrace that. Let's move forward with that. I think her concerns about if somebody couldn't come up with the entire security deposit at once, maybe making sure the provision is in there that they could do it over time is quite reasonable. But again, what the housing agencies are looking for is having that security deposit to create a pool of funds if there's damage to the unit. And so most landlords do that, and the fact that our housing authorities aren't able to do that is probably an oversight. I'd like to talk just very briefly, because you have a lot of folks that want to come and testify, but I understand where the Commissioner of Housing and the Commissioner of Demas is coming from regarding these issues. I've been grappling with the issues regarding senior housing for over 20 years. First of all, I have submitted written testimony. I would urge you to review that. In that written testimony, what I point out is that the Program Review and Investigations Committee a few years ago looked into some of this, and about 10 years ago, I believe the percentage of disabled in our senior, what had always been supposed to be senior housing, was about 17%, and as of 2013, I think it was about 24%. And depending on which town you go to or which development you go to, it can be far in excess of that. Now, I'm not coming out and picking on disabled individuals. The term is the young disabled. Certainly there's lots of young disabled that deserve a chance, especially those that are graduating out of education and are on the autism spectrum and have a lot of needs. But what I've encountered in north central Connecticut over the years is an individual that may have gotten disabled through various life activities. Maybe it was a motorcycle accident or something like that. Now they're living in what had been designed as senior housing. And now they're maybe 25, 30, 35 years old. And the seniors that have moved in there thought that this would be where they would have the quiet years of their lives, the comfort, and all of a sudden these individuals have friends over, maybe they have motorcycles. I'm not picking on motorcycles, but you know, the noise, maybe they're playing loud music, and now all of a sudden your grandmother or grandfather or mom or dad thought that they were going to have peace and comfort and tranquility and security, and now they're concerned about their own health and safety because they are now not able to leave where they are, and yet the individuals that are living there are not what they thought they would be. And again, the state has sort of kicked this down the road, in my opinion, by having the percentages escalate so much so quickly. So I would urge this. I appreciate the fact that the commissioners are saying they're going to talk and try to resolve this. But this has been going on for years and years and years. And I would appreciate this committee's efforts to, if not necessarily pass these proposals, and I have tailored mine on a law that was passed in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, so I know that they are in compliance with federal dictates, but I think 86%, requiring 86% in these areas for seniors, and then you could have your other 14% for disabled. If you move with that proposal, yes, they're going to lobby against that as the session progresses, but it establishes a fair percentage that both the seniors and the disabled both can have access. But if there's not enough housing out there being dedicated to the disabled, then we need to step up and take care of that, as opposed to shifting this to developments that were designed for our senior citizens. If you can't do that, or if you want to try to maybe extend an olive branch to the two commissioners and say, okay, we know, because I heard loud and clear from both of them that the time is now. that they realize that we are at a critical juncture. I would at least urge this committee to put together legislation that would either monitor the progress along this path or at least do something to make sure that when our work is done, they can't say, oh, well, we don't have the resources, so it's status quo. Because status quo is not really serving those individuals.
Final thoughts, Senator?
Yes, especially those seniors in throughout the state of Connecticut. And this is a bipartisan proposal, and I also have Scott Bertrand from the Enfield Housing Authority, and I believe there's statewide support for this. And I apologize, Mr. Chairman, I wanted to be succinct, but I really felt passionately about this. And I'm welcome to take any questions or to meet with any individuals of the committee at any time in the future.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.